All right, we're back. I think we're back. Well, interesting game out there so far, and my friend Danny Coccimiglio, a homeboy from the SOO, I think you were kind of hoping to see a little more from Hookie and Hill, but we haven't really seen much of that yet.
No, but it's been very, very good hockey in this first period. Both teams came out. They're playing absolutely incredible. Like, I've never seen so many goalposts get hit before.
Right. They definitely both came here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, to play hockey.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen a tiny little bit of aggression out there, but nothing that isn't hockey, right? You know. Yeah. And they decided to come here and play hockey. SOO Greyhounds leading right now 10-6 on shots on goal, but we really saw the Sarnia Sting leading that for most of that period. I don't know that it's too early to tell here. We're a score of 0-0, so we're not really seeing anything coming out of this first period yet. What do you think is going to happen in the second period? What do you predict there?
What I gathered from the first, the Sting, they held back.
You think so?
They held back whenever the Greyhounds made a mistake. That's when the Sting pounced on the Hounds. The Hounds, they came out blasting and blasting and blasting.
Yeah.
So they were just waiting for that opportunity. Voigt actually caught the Hounds twice on a big mistake, and both goaltenders, they're playing fantastic.
Yes. Well, interestingly enough, after the game on Friday, we had post-game press conference, which we will have again this afternoon at the end of the day here. When they lost to the Flint Firebirds 6-3, Coach Letang said, we were pushing too hard. We had to wait to let Flint make those mistakes, and we were trying to force those mistakes.
Yeah.
And he said, if we just let it happen, we would have been able to beat Flint Firebirds, which they showed yesterday. But I think that's kind of similar to what we're seeing here. And the back off, if you've been watching over the week anyway, yes, I think they have backed off a little bit to the point of let's just play the hockey, but we got to be there when they let it go.
Correct. So before the Wi-Fi gods killed us at the pregame, I was mentioning that Landon Hookie is playing for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. I knew his father before he passed.
Yes.
Great guy, and I'm sure he's looking down at his son and being very proud his son's playing against his Sarnia Sting. Oddly enough, Marnie, Landon's mother, takes billets in, and they billeted number 16 from the Sting, Theo Hill.
Yep.
And so when Landon was 13 years old, he said he goes, I'm going to play you in the OHL.
Yeah.
And he always looked up to Theo. And sure enough, now this is the first game that they're playing against each other, and it's come to fruition. It's going to be an amazing game for both teams. You can see a lot of Landon's friends are here from Sarnia.
Yeah.
They're all here in the.
They were shouting it. They were the loudest people in this place. It was like, "Hello, Sting."
And one girl said, "Landon, I love you," and it was a sight to see.
They're really good. Well, and great to see the SOO Greyhound support. And obviously, traveling down on a bus and however they decide to carpool and get here. There's a big support base for the SOO Greyhounds wherever they go in this league. So that's really great. And, of course, as always, we did expect to see them here. And it was a great moment out there when we had the official puck drop earlier, and they had Hookie and Hill together. And they even showed a little extra love to each other, kind of the boy hug or the man hug there. Do you think that some of that, that's emotional, right?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, these two have come to know each other well. Do you think that plays anything out on the ice?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, even though they're buddies, they're good friends, they're kind of like family, they're on opposing teams, they know they're still going to go after each other.
Yeah.
100%. Like, look at the Hunter boys.
Well, they have to.
Yeah. The Hunter boys, when they played in the NHL, or the Primos, whatever. When you're on the ice and you're on the other team, you're the enemy.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at the comments here. What do we got here? Oh, Catherine Knowles is out there. And she's saying, so exciting, yeah. And she says, hell yeah, Hookie and Knowles are super loud. I think Catherine, you got something in this game, I think. But keep the comments coming while we're live for the next few minutes. But I think what's going to happen now, though, is like you talk about the step back a little bit from the Sarnia Sting. And I think, you go back to the locker room and then there's always that, okay, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And the SOO Greyhounds have got to be recognizing what's going on out there. So the SOO are the number one team in the West Division right now.
Yep.
And I would say that the Sarnia Sting have done very well to keep up with that first place division team. But I don't know that you can last the whole 60 minutes of hockey playing the way they did that first period. I think they got to come out of the gates like a horse, ready to take things on.
I always say this game is a 60-minute game. You can't play just 50 minutes. You have to go the whole duration, because if you let up or take off the gas, the other team's just going to pounce all over you when you're weak. You have to go the full 60 minutes.
Yeah. You got to hit that vertical pedal on the right, so to speak.
Correct.
Our friend Jay Peckham, I was texting him, and he's I don't know, he's complaining his throat's sore or something. Like the guy talks a lot or something. I don't know. So, yeah, Jay Peckham, you take the night off there, Danny. He actually was very confident. He said, I believe Danny could probably handle it. Thanks, Jay Peckham. Appreciate that. We do miss you, sort of.
I'll see you in the parking lot.
Right?
Bring the helmets and gloves.
Right. Let's, we talk a lot about the Sarnia Sting here. Ben Gaudreau in there. I was really surprised. I'm not surprised they were playing him today, but I didn't realize when I said earlier, I was surprised that they didn't play Anson Thornton yesterday with the Flint Firebirds. Come to realize that Thornton had been scratched from yesterday's game, and it looks like they're bringing Grover up. So wonder if that kind of played a decision-making factor, obviously, in having Ben Gaudreau. So Ben Gaudreau got to be tired, playing Friday, yesterday, and, Flint Firebirds really pushing hard against the Sarnia Sting, obviously. And now today, you're coming in to the first place team in the division. What do you think goes through that goaltender's mind going, wow?
Well, key to a lot of athletes is rest. You need your rest. But you also got to take into consideration when you're needed to play, you got to be focused and you got to be able to deliver. So as long as these guys are getting enough rest in between games, like I know a lot of guys, they play hockey 7 days a week and they love it. They love it, but they don't play as hard as these kids, because these kids, they'll always have people watching them.
Yes.
They want to go to the show. There's a lot of things so mentally, there's a lot of things going through these kids' minds. Okay, what scout's watching me today? So they need the rest, mentally and physically, but at the same time, they still got to perform every single time they're on the ice.
Yeah, good point. The mental health side of things there. The Sarnia Sting and many other teams in the OHL and the NHL recognizing as well. But Sting has a mental health coach, so that plays a role in all of this as well. And, of course, let's check our comp. Oh, who else we got here? Oh, yeah, she says maybe. Yeah, I think Knowles on the SOO team is related to Catherine here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And our friend Ed Gardner just checking in to say hi. Thanks, Ed. Some great points in there for sure. But, I mean, it's and we've talked about, Jay Peck and I, and we've talked about before about, you look at the age group that's playing hockey, playing hard. They've got big goals and dreams. They've got to do well in school in order to participate.
Yep.
They've got community events that they're obligated to be at. And by the way, I wouldn't mind being a teenager. Well, right, that's a lot to take on. And most being away from their families and living with billet families. That's a hard thing at a young age to have to deal with. So it's fortunate that they've got that they can lean on there. I had a quick conversation with Dylan Sika, general manager, earlier. He took time to say hello, and I said, "How you been? Haven't seen you." And he said he's been away a lot. He's been scouting. So they're always scouting, but that came directly from Dylan. So you never know. That might be some clues as to things we can expect coming up. It's still very early in this OHL season, but it's time for things to really get turned up another notch, I think. So what are we going to see coming out in the second period? Well, my friend Danny's got his opinion. I think the Sarnia Sting are going to really turn it up. And I think, again, for playing a first-place team in the West Division, the Sarnia Sting have really held their own in that first period. And they know, and Coach Letang has said it before, we are not a fancy team. We cannot afford to do those kind of things. We just need to go play hockey, and sometimes we need to let the puck come to us, and that's what we saw in that first period. So
meat potatoes.
Right on. Okay, hockey, yeah. Oh, Hookie is
Catherine's nephew.
Catherine's nephew.
Yeah.
Ah, I never knew. All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us, Kathy, and Ed, and everybody for saying hello. And for all of you who are watching, please take the time to share around this video. Share your comments, and we'll do our best to answer them. Coming up next period, we'll be back. Going to be talking with Special Olympics Sarnia, I think, and then Danny Coccimiglio will join me to wrap up. And, of course, don't forget there is the post-game press conference that will happen in the restaurant, and we'll be broadcasting that live on the Sarnia Sting fan page, on the Show with David Burrows, and the Video Show Network as well. So on behalf of my friend Danny Coccimiglio, you know how long it took me to learn how to say your name?
Only a couple of years.
Only a couple of years, and I've known you for 20, right? As my friend Jay Peckham would say, go Sting, go!
How?